All right, so we're continuing with the laws of the Birkat Halevana. As we know, Birkat Halevana, the Hasidim, the first Hasidim, the Tzaddikim, would know the greatness of Birkat Halevana, or as it's called Kiddush Levana, and they would understand that it's a resemblance of the Shekhinah, the divinity, the presentation of divinity, and the connection of Bnei Israel with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Some people would fast before. Not fast, but they would go to the mikveh the day that they know that they're going to do the Birkat Halevana, wear special clothing. And there's a question whether or not a person should recite Birkat Halevana after a fast. Now we know that after Yom Kippurim, after Tisha B'Av, there's a mitzvah right away to do Birkat Halevana, to go into that mitzvah. However, it brings the Ben Ish Chai, it's good to taste something before Birkat Halevana, so we don't recite this very special mitzvah while still in a state of fasting, and so we should have something there before that. And the question is, what happens when there's some clouds that are covering the Levana, covering the moon? I know there was a couple of funny stories that over here in Seattle where, anyways, it depends how many clouds, how thick the clouds are. According to the Ben Ish Chai, he's very sensitive about clouds covering the Levana. And he says, even if there are some minor clouds, you shouldn't say Birkat Halevana. You need to really enjoy and have benefit from the Levana. What does it mean to really have benefit from the Levana, from the moon? It means that you could count coins from the light of the moon. Now, it's a little difficult to assess that these days because we have electricity, we have lamps, but we should be able to count coins. We can somehow assume that, even if it's covered a little bit, if I didn't have any other lighting around me and I could still count coins, can I still have or derive benefit from the light coming from the moon? And that's when I can say the beracha. There is a story of the Baba Sali that went all the way and drove to a different place to be in a space where the moon, I guess, was clear. There's a story of, I think, one of the Hasidic rabbis, the Rebbe of Belz maybe, that they took a chopper and they went over the clouds and so that they could see the Levana in a proper place. And so, they really went out of their way to do this mitzvah. Now, there's also a mitzvah or halacha to recite Birkat Halevana not under a roof, not inside a home, not under a roof, to really be outside under the sky. There's another halacha that's really not so prevalent today, that a person should be on top of a makom chalul. What is a makom chalul? A space that's kind of like let's say you're standing on the ground. It shouldn't be on, like the ground proper, maybe on something that underneath there's some space. Maybe you're standing on a place that has beams or something like that, or on a cave that's like hollow inside. Why would they ever have that minhag? Why would they ever have that custom? And so the idea is, because it's such an important mitzvah of kind of understanding or accepting or connecting to the divinity of the Shekhinah, then certainly back in the day there were a lot of issues and concern. Maybe they're standing over older graves, burial plots that weren't yet identified, and they're standing on that. So standing on a burial plot that wasn't identified and saying the mitzvah Birkat Halevana wasn't something that they wanted, so they stood over a place that had maybe a space, a hollow space, that there was some sort of barrier between the grave and that. So therefore some people say that today it's not such an issue. However, we still have the minhag, and I believe the Rodesli custom as well, based on the Kaf HaChaim, that you should not be under a roof or under a canopy. So therefore, when we go outside over here, we try to step a little bit outside, not from where the cover is, to say Birkat Halevana, and then we say 3 times Shalom Aleichem, says the Ben Ish Chai. Either it's corresponding to Yaakov Avinu, that it says with the Zechut of Yaakov Avinu that his name is recited kaful, or 3 times, but also he says it's corresponding to the tears that Esav has shed. Esav had 3 tears that came down when he heard that he's not going to receive the berachot. 3 tears, he cried 3 tears, 2 tears came down, the third didn't come down, it was a tear that wasn't expressed. And that's why he says we put 3 coins in the morning for some people that have that practice, and that's why we're 3 times saying Shalom Aleichem. But certainly this is a very big mitzvah. A person should do it Bizmana, according to Sfaradim, 7 days after the formation of the moon. According to the Ashkenaz halacha, even 3 days after. And according to Sfaradim, if you know that you're going to be stuck, or you're going to be in a situation where between 3 days and 7 days or 15 days, right, you're going to miss the bracha if you don't say it before 7 days, then you can even be mekel, according to Chacham Ovadia as well, to say it after 3 days. Baruch Adonai Le'olam.
Amen. Amen.